it's Karen and
Rudolph!
here for Karen and Blutos on another review channel with another movie review.
Yep.
I promise we are going to start varying it up and doing some other reviews. We're just still working on things. So
Maybe.
So
What are we doing?
We are going to review a favorite movie of Blutos, and it's not that Poultrygeist.
I think I like the one we're going to do now better.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
So we are reviewing Slumber Party Massacre from 1982.
Awesome.
Rated R.
Obviously.
77 minutes.
Perfect.
Gore and nudity.
Perfect.
Spoilers.
Perfect.
We ready?
Yep.
Okay. So we start out where a newspaper boy is delivering newspapers, and on the front of the newspaper is Russ Thorne, mass murderer has escaped.
From jail or the mental asylum?
I don't know. I don't think it really said.
Okay.
So we cut away to one of our characters, Trish, sleeping in bed. Her alarm goes off. There's a news article or a story coming on about Russ.
News article on the radio.
I know. I messed that up. On the radio about Russ Thorne escaping, but she kind of changes the station.
Rusty.
Nobody likes to listen to the news stories about this dude escaping.
I don't listen to the radio.
Big mistake. Anyways, Trish gets up, starts getting ready for school. Bluto likes that part.
Yep. I want a neighbor like her.
Then she starts cleaning up her room because she's having a slumber party with some of her friends from school. She's like a senior in high school, I believe.
Yeah, she was a senior.
So
she's 25.
One of the big things, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because it plays into it later, is one of the items she's throwing away is a Barbie doll.
She should have eBayed that.
Yeah. Well, eBay in 1982. I don't think that would have worked.
Just think if it would.
Anywho. She goes downstairs. Her parents are getting ready to go away for the weekend. Mom's saying about there's chips and soda and everything there. And, and that her neighbor, Mr. Contents, I keep calling him different things.
It's not plural, it's singular.
Oh, Content. Mr. Content, is going to keep an eye on him. And Trish is like, oh, shit.
Oh, I keep an eye on him.
And he's like, yeah, don't worry. I'll just make sure the girls stay out of trouble and everything.
And if they're bad, I'll spank them.
No, he doesn't say that.
No, but I would.
So, Trish's parents leave. She goes, throws the bag of the toys in the garbage can and leaves to go to school. Somebody comes by and pulls the Barbie doll out of the bag.
The garbage man?
No.
Oh.
So, they go to the high school and we meet two of our male characters, Jeff and Neil. Jeff tries to hit on a phone woman.
Hey, I would.
Phone person. Hot. I don't know what the PC term would be nowadays.
She's hot and wears nice jeans.
She's up on the ladder, fixing a phone line. Jeff's trying to flirt with her. Neil's like, "Oh yeah, you're striking out, dude." So,
her loss.
They walk away, and as they're walking away, her van door opens. She gets pulled in, and here our mass murderer friend is hanging out in the van and drills her.
Just think if she would have let him in and been like, "Hi," they could have helped her.
Yeah, and apparently they don't hear the van noises or her trying to scream or anything. They just
maybe they did,
walking.
And they didn't care.
So we go into the school, and there's basketball practice going on with Trish and some of her other characters.
Some of her other characters.
Our other characters, her friends. I know. Jackie, Kim, Diane, and then Trish and Linda.
Linda's there.
Oh, I have it written there, but anyway.
They never show her.
And then Coach Gianna's around as well, their coach.
Yep.
So after that's all done, they cut away to the shower scene. And a lot of TNA going on, my friends.
Good pause moment.
Yeah, just giving you an FYI.
I like when they show Trish. It's like, bend over and pick up that soap.
So the girls are kind of talking about different stuff. Trish goes and talks to Valerie, who's new to the school and everything. They're discussing about the slumber party tonight. Trish says about inviting Valerie, and Diane, who's kind of a bitch, is like, no, this is supposed to be for the gang. She doesn't like Valerie for some reason.
Probably because Valerie looks better than her.
Yeah.
She does.
Well, Valerie kind of overhears everything. Trish goes to invite her, and Valerie's like, I can't, don't worry, and she leaves. And,
Valerie should have beat up Diane.
Yeah.
Trish might have liked that.
Anyways,
yeah,
we cut away. They're all leaving school. Their friend Linda is saying she doesn't know if she's going to make it because her mom's been, getting on her about her grades or stuff. And then she's like, oh, I forgot my one book.
Yeah,
I have to run back
for 5 years.
Yeah. She had to run back into the school. She passes Coach Jana on the way through and says, oh, hurry up. They're going to be locking the school down. So very quickly, Linda's trying to leave and she's locked in the school with our murderer friend who starts chasing her around with his drill. And I was joking and kind of analyzing this, just being a smart ass. And this was like, just shut up and watch the movie.
Yep.
So I will spare you guys that as well.
Yep.
So basically, Linda gets cornered and we assume she is killed.
I mean, she is.
We don't see her again through the movie.
Nope.
Anyways,
I just want to say about the one in the dumpster. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the phone lady.
I know you're skipping ahead, but I like that part. It's funny.
As they're leaving the school, the phone lady's body is in the dumpster, which has been
I won't correct you anymore.
Very popular in a lot of these movies we've been watching recently. Sorry, to dump bodies in the dumpster.
That's cool.
And Russ takes her van, basically. So we go to Diane walking home alone. Her boyfriend, John, comes up behind her, scares her. She flips him over her shoulder, I think.
I don't think he scares her. She's like, rah!
Yeah, she's kind of like, I'll take you out, and it's him, and he's going on about them needing to get together tonight, and she's like, I can, I promised the girls, and he's like, oh, whatever. And she goes, well, I'll see what happens. So Trish is home by herself, waiting for her friends to show up, starts playing the piano, she hears a noise. For some reason, the front door is open. She goes to run out the front door, and Mr. Content comes up behind her and scares the crap out of her. And
he was upstairs.
And he was basically like, I walked by, I saw the door open, I was checking the house, I didn't mean to scare her.
Sure you were. I know what he was doing.
Not Diane.
I'm sorry.
Jackie and Kim show up. Well, the neighbor's still there. And they end up bringing beer and marijuana. Bear.
What's a bear?
Bear. Don't you have a bear?
No. I hang out with him, though.
So, Mr. Content comes up behind him and says, take it easy with it. I won't tell your parents. He's trying to be cool.
That's
and he leaves.
Stuff, man.
Valerie apparently lives either next door or very near to where Trish lives.
Enough that she can peek on her.
Enough that she can look out the window and kind of see what's going on. We can't decide if she's next door or across the street because of the camera angles.
Well, I like to look in and see what they're doing.
But anyways, it's her and her sister Courtney, who is a total annoying brat.
She's hot in the second one.
Yeah, played by somebody else.
She got a makeover.
Anyways, they're sitting there. The dog gets in the trash. They're arguing who goes out and cleans it up. Valerie eventually goes and cleans it up. Courtney runs upstairs to Valerie's room, grabs her copy of Playgirl with Sylvester Stallone from under her bed.
Oh, you had that, didn't you?
No, that was way before my time.
Yeah, sure.
Way before I was old enough. So, the boys also discussed, this was a little bit of an earlier scene, about stopping by and scaring the girls. So they show up and they're kind of watching Trish, Kim, and Jackie change.
Oh, yeah.
And Diane has shown up in the middle of all this as well. So Diane's still dressed. And
she stood up right at the window. It's like...
Yeah. She discussed, well, that since she's the only one dressed, she'll go out and get some wood for the fire. So she heads outside to get wood. She's grabbing the logs. All of a sudden, there's a snail there. And she's like, oh, gross, and everything. Well, then Mr. Content comes up behind her with a meat cleaver. Is that what he's using?
Something like that. Snails are good.
Cuts you like snails.
Yeah, I like to eat them with peanut butter and mayonnaise. Raw. They're good.
Anyways, He takes out the snail and he's disgusting. He goes, yeah, these little creatures like to come out at night and eat my garden. So this is the only true way to get rid of them and everything. And so Diane goes back in through the garage and Mr. Content goes to kill another one. And our friend, the killer, shows up and drills him through the neck. So no more creepy neighbor. So the boys are outside. They're like, okay, we need to scare the girls.
Well, they didn't say that, but they're going to go do something.
Yeah, they're saying about going and doing something, and then it cuts away to Trish saying about how cold it is and how she goes to close a window, and she sees somebody lurking in the bushes and kind of freaks out. She asked Diane if she shut the garage, and Diane's like, "Yeah, I shut it." And she goes to Jeannie.
Although she said, "I don't know."
No, she asked her if she locked the garage, and she's like, "I don't remember."
Because she is.
She reopens the window and finds the Barbie doll stuck into the side of the window frame with like blood and something else on it, and
That's
they
funny.
Freak out. Trish and Diane go out to check the garage, and Diane's like, "See, I closed it." And Trish is like, "Yeah, but you didn't lock it." So they go over, lock the door, go back in the house, and somebody's lurking in the garage. So, they cut back and forth between the slumber party and stuff that's going on with Valerie and her sister.
That's not important.
Yeah, I'm not even. I wrote some stuff down, but it's nobody
cares.
No big deal.
Good stuff.
Courtney is a pain in the ass. I just will say that. I cannot stand her in this movie, and that was one of Bluto's most annoying characters on his list that we did. Then we go to Diane. She's on the phone with John, discussing their
that's kind of funny
sex life, I guess. Basically,
getting better.
Yeah, and the other three girls pick up another line, and they're listening in.
That's funny.
Diane figures out that they're listening and kind of gets upset.
I wonder what she's getting better at.
I don't know. That's what I was like. That could be a lot of things. But anyways, they are standing there, and the lights go out. So they all go back out to the garage, and they're checking the fuse box. And she's like, "No, there's no fuses blown, but there's some missing." Well, Kim drops the flashlight.
I don't remember. It's too dark.
Picks up the flashlight, comes up on a pair of Jean legs, gets to the top, and bashes the person.
Punches him? I can never tell.
I think she hit him with the flashlight.
Oh, the blonde.
Yeah, Jeff.
Okay. No, the blonde girl hits the guy.
Kim.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, well, it turns out it's Jeff and Neil. They were playing a joke, took the fuses out. Jeff got a flashlight to the side of the face. So,
that's cool.
Next thing, Diane's boyfriend shows up. He pulls into the garage.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome.
She doesn't lock the garage again. So, like I said, it's cutting back to Valerie and Courtney doing stuff, and then Diane and John are making out in the car, and Diane doesn't want to go any further because everybody's in the house and they could hear and walk in at any moment. So John's like, "Well, let's go back to my place for a little bit." And Diane's like, "I don't know, they'll be upset."
Blah, blah, blah.
And he's like, "Trish is very understanding." So she goes in the house, kind of just says that her and John are going to go for beer because they're making strawberry daiquiris.
Right.
And Trish is like, no, she wants some beer. Let her go.
She knows.
So Diane goes back out to the garage, and her boyfriend is dead because he lost his head.
Her horoscope was right.
Yeah, there's a part earlier in the movie that talks about horoscopes. That's kind of funny. If you watch this, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen this, check it out. Turns out that Russ, our killer, is in the garage.
Rusty.
He corners Diane and kills her.
I like the camera shot that they does it.
Nobody hears this in Trisha's house because they're running the blender to make strawberry daiquiris. But
timing.
They cut to Courtney and Valerie looking out the window, and Valerie goes, "I thought I heard a scream and then a horn, then nothing."
Yeah, screw them.
So it's just like, oh, whatever, maybe they're into something freaky or something over there.
Let's go look at Playgirl.
So Kim and Diane are discussing something about the baseball game the previous evening. They call Coach Jana, and then they had ordered pizza earlier. Well, the pizza arrives.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
This part's kind of funny because somebody asks, "What's the damage?" And the response is, 6 so far.
That's funny.
And they're like, "Oh, $6," and they're trying to get money together. And when they open the door, the pizza dude has what?
I said, I want a pizza for $6.
Yeah. Little Caesars. So they open the door. The pizza guy has his eyes drilled out. He's still holding the pizza. So obviously our murder friend was there. And the joke is he's murdered 60 people so far.
Cool.
So it's kind of a funny. Well,
if the pizza deliverer is murdered, you get the pizza for free.
Trish screams. Coach Deanna's like on the phone going, what's going on in the background? The phone disconnects. It goes
Well, don't
dead.
disconnect. He cuts the line.
Well, later he cuts the line, but she gets disconnected from Kim and Diane. Or Kim and Jackie. I always want to call Jackie Diane for some reason, because she looks like a Diane to me. She kind of looks like a little like Diana Ross back then.
Yeah, she's hot too.
Yeah, that's why I think I want to call her Diane all the time.
She naked.
So, Coach Deanna calls Valerie and says if she's heard or seen anything. And she says, well, my sister thought she heard some screaming. Should I go over and check? And Coach Deanna's like, no, I'll drive over myself.
Geez, I wouldn't.
And plus, in the middle of all this, Trish tries to call the police, and Russ cuts the phone cord. Yeah, so as she's giving the address, the phone goes.
You think they would have traced that by then?
I don't know if they could do that back then, or if that's kind of a newer thing.
Cool. I don't know. Whatever.
So anyways, Jeff and Neil start talking. They're like, well, we should split up, do something to save the girls.
They're stupid.
Because they're like, well, at least hopefully one of us would make it. So they discuss that one is going to go out through the garage and try to get to the neighbor, Mr. Content.
I would have done
and then the other one is going to try to get over to Valerie's.
Nope.
And needless to say, it does not work out for either.
I would have done that. Nope.
So we have the girls still, they're sitting in the living room, each holding a knife.
This part's fun.
Something about talking about being hungry. Yeah. And they say about covering up the pizza guy's body.
No way, man.
So Kim goes over and starts covering, and she's like, oh, he's so cold. And Jackie's like, is the pizza. And she like puts it on top of his body and starts eating it, just saying food always makes me feel better.
With her.
And she's like, see, I'm feeling better already. So it's just funny.
I want some pumpkin filling on it though, but that was good.
So Jeff is trying to get back to the house at this point too, even though he's wounded. The killer corners him, kills them. The girls kind of see the blood coming under the door, so they run upstairs to hide.
Cool.
The answer in every horror movie, you run upstairs.
Sorry,
Anywho, Valerie starts looking for Courtney, and she looks outside and sees Courtney walking over to Trish.
I let her go.
So Valerie goes over to try to find Courtney and check with everything going on. So Courtney's at the front door, then she walks away. Valerie goes to the front door and starts knocking and everything. The girls hear her upstairs and they're like, oh my God, it's Valerie. We have to get to her so she can get help. Jackie goes running out the door and they're trying to stop her. Well, she goes and opens the door and Russ is there and takes her out across the neck with the drill. So unfortunately, no more Jackie either.
That was sad.
The other two run back upstairs. So Valerie finds Courtney out back and she's like, nothing's going on. It's dead here. And Valerie goes, well, I'm going to recheck the house, make sure everything's locked up and,
nope.
Everything. So Valerie gets to the front door and this time it's unlocked. So she
let's just go in.
So she goes in and kind of starts looking around. Valerie's calling again. And Kim's like, we should go. And Trish kind of thinks that Valerie might be involved with the killer.
Hey, that was
because previously when Valerie was yelling and Jackie went downstairs and the killer showed up.
She's a new girl.
Yeah, she's the new girl in town.
Maybe it's Uncle Russ.
Trish and Kim are sitting upstairs in Trish's bedroom and talking. All of a sudden, Russ, the killer, comes through the bedroom window.
He sneaks up behind them.
Yeah, scares the crap out of them. They're trying to stop him. What are you doing?
That's him sneaking up on him.
Yeah. And they drop their knives. Eventually, he kind of gets knocked out, but comes to real quick.
Well, that was a weak hit with the
Then he picks up the knife and ends up killing Kim. Trish takes off and goes and hides.
You said, like the sprinkler effect.
Yeah. Valerie finds Courtney and they says, okay, they're going to go lock up and go home. Courtney.
Kip, cop, keeps, cuckoo.
Courtney is saying about getting a beer out of the fridge and debating back and forth.
She's underage.
Yeah.
Right.
Courtney opens the fridge and Kim's body falls out.
Underage like 10 years
so they both freak out. Naturally, this gets the killer's attention after he was upstairs looking for Trish and can't find her. He starts coming downstairs. Oh my God. Valerie yells at Courtney to run and she goes down the basement steps. Well, then the killer comes down. He's looking around, sees the blanket covering the pizza guy's body. So he takes the pizza guy body and dumps it down the basement steps.
That's funny.
Which is kind of comical. Yep. Trish is further down at this point, though.
Trish.
Valerie. I always want to call Valerie. I mix the names up. Yeah. So he goes and takes the blanket and lays on the floor, and we see Courtney's hiding under the couch at this point as well.
I don't think I could fit under that couch.
Yeah, we were discussing, like, how much room's under that couch that you could fit under, and anyways, so Russ covers himself with the blanket and just lays that on the floor.
Well, that worked.
So Coach, because I was like, well, why is he doing that? And then Bluto was like, well, figuring they're going to come out at some point and he can corner them.
Yeah, they think it's pizza guy under
there. Coach Jana shows up looking for the girls. She pulls the blanket off of Russ and he comes and starts attacking her. So they start fencing. He's using his drill and she's using a fire poker. It's kind of comical.
Fire poker massacre.
Courtney trips Russ as well. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused on my notes.
You're almost dead.
And then once he trips, she beats him a couple times with the fire poker. Then Trish comes running in and stabs him in the back, and Coach Jana's trying to get her out of the way. He picks up this drill and takes it across her Coach Jana's stomach, and everything starts falling out. So then Trish is sitting there, and he's going on about, you're all so pretty, and it takes a lot of love to do something like this. That's cool. Want it. It's this whole monologue thing.
I like that part.
Kind of explaining why he does it.
Takes a lot of love.
Yeah. So, finally,
love it.
Valerie comes up from the basement. There's a funny scene with her and a plugged-in saw. It's more comical to watch it. It's not meant to be, but it's funny.
Well, maybe it is.
Whoops, I just bumped the table. So Valerie comes running up the steps with a machete. Russ is basically like, oh shit, at this point. So somehow she's chasing him outside. They get by the pool. Valerie's facing him off. She cuts off his drill bit. I won't go into my analysis of this. And then she starts hacking off his hand. So he drops the drill.
She circumcised him.
And then I think she stabs him, so he falls into the pool.
She cuts his hand off.
Yeah, I said he cuts her hand off, and I think she stabs him too. He falls.
She slices his stomach.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah. So I couldn't remember if it was sliced or stabbed at that point. So they think
stabbing is coming up.
They think he's dead. Courtney comes out hugging Valerie because she's like, "Oh my god!" And Courtney is like, "I love you, sister. You're the best." And everything. So,
you want to finish this?
No, I was looking at my notes.
Come on,
basically, Russ comes out of the pool,
smacks her,
starts choking Trish, smacking Courtney.
Trish. She chokes Valerie.
Damn it!
Trish comes out with the knife and goes, ah! And then he's going to get a fight.
He smacks Courtney and Trish off of him. Valerie's able to get the machete back, and when he comes back,
he runs towards her,
falls on the blade, and
he goes, bah!
And then we have basically 3 girls at the end crying and freaking out, and police sirens.
Very good. You finished that last 2 seconds.
I don't know why. I am adamant Valerie is Trish. Don't know why.
And Debbie is Sally, and Sally is something else.
Sue, and now we're going to just be confusing.
All right, great movie.
Like I said, this movie has a lot of rewatch value.
They say no movie's perfect, but I would give it a perfect.
Yeah, I know some people are offended by this movie.
Why?
Well, no, because of the women violence and everything, but I mean,
what about the man violence?
Yeah, I mean, this movie was directed by a woman. I think written by a woman. The slasher craze was big back in the 80s. Believe me, I'm far from being offended by it. I'm just kind of like,
you used to be afraid of this stuff.
I used to be afraid of it, yes, but I'm like, it's a movie. I think the news is more violent with stuff than anything. But that's my opinion. Anyways, but like I said, definitely a lot of...
Watch it.
High rewatch value. I mean, this is probably another go-to movie for me if I can't find anything to watch.
Yep.
So, because I mean, it's kind of comical. You know what's going to happen, but
it's good.
You know, it's kind of like, okay, you kind of root maybe that the girls were all live this time or something. I don't know. No, you don't?
Well, I guess, because they're kind of hot. Maybe the ugly ones die, but not the hot ones.
Anyways, we're going to wrap this up because we're running long on a 79-minute movie or whatever it is.
All right, we're done.
So,
bye.
Anyways, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you know when we post new content. Share the page. It'd be greatly appreciated. Subscribe. Subscribe. That would be awesome. Yeah. Tracy. Sorry. Hopefully I'll have our Amazon wish list done if you would like to help us out. Comment if there's a movie you want us to review. We have no comments, so comment.
Yeah.
I do interact.
Love. Why not?
Check out my other channel, K-Dog Games, Toys, and More for toy and game reviews. I think that's it.
Yep.
We'll see you next one. Bye.
Bye.